And Susan Collins, Susan Collins. A lot of us spent a lot of years against our better judgment. For disclosure, I worked against Susan Collins in 2002. And so a lot of us spent a lot of years hoping maybe she'd become the person she claimed she was. She had the perfect branding in Maine because there were two powerful, actually moderate women before her. Senator Margaret Chase Smith, a Republican, who was one of the first Republicans to call out Senator McCarthy in the 50s, and Republican Senator Olympia Snowe, who was actually, took some really bad votes, like against Obamacare before she left. I'm not going to say she was perfect, but was really a center-right politician that tried to find common ground. And there's Susan Collins, who Rick Santorum was once overheard saying on an Amtrak by numerous folks who said it, "Oh, we've got Collins. She's ours." They were worried more about the ones that might break away. I mean, she could have become a Jim Jeffords or Lincoln Chafee, the two that they actually both voted against Alito, for example, being on the court. Instead, she became the person that claimed that she trusted Kavanaugh. I guess she trusted not only that he would respect precedent when it came to Roe versus Wade, but she trusted that this guy who clearly was a serial drunk and attacked Christine Blasey Ford, who gave very credible testimony, he did so, and other women who came forward. And when the FBI shut down the investigation because of Trump after a week or two, and there were supposedly hundreds or thousands of more calls with tips about Kavanaugh's boorish behavior, which you could see because when he was questioned by senators, he looked like a dry drunk screaming back at them, "Do you like beer, Senator? Do you like beer?" And we got to find out all about his workout regimen and beach summer with Squee and Tobin and I know what you did last summer. Okay, well, now Susan Collins, again, with the frowny face and the disappointment, and I'll codify Roe, but she won't because she can't unless she's willing to get rid of the filibuster, which she's not. And she also won't because it goes too far with her. She's worried about the conscience of Catholic hospitals. What about my conscience when they used my money to go into Iraq, into an illegal war and kill people? What about my money, my tax money, when they when they go forward with the death penalty and murder people? You see, the thing is if you're anti-choice, if you hate abortion, if you're a forced birther, you get to have a conscience clause. You can't spend my money on something I disagree with. The rest of us don't get that. Yeah, well, this is a democracy, and so as long as abortion is legal, fuck off with that, honestly. If my money goes to wars I don't believe in, your money's going to go to abortions you don't believe in. In any case, back to the point. Susan Collins of the frowny face and the sadness literally called the police on a chalk outline. Yes, somebody actually in front of her home in Maine wrote that she should support the WHPA, which is the Women's Health Bill that would codify Roe. Oh my God, how awful. And I want to get you the exact, what the WHPA stands for. And I'm having a hard time. Oh, Women's Health Protection Act. So they wanted to codify that, and she wouldn't. So they wrote it in chalk in front of her house. What would a normal person do? I've gotten death threats sent to me at my house. A lot of people have who work in this business. It's awful when it's something you deal with. I've gotten them by email, whatever. What did Susan Collins do when somebody wrote in chalk? It's kind of like the candlelight vigil outside of Kavanaugh's house. Like, I think Kavanaugh was just upset that they didn't bring any whiskey for him. I digress again. Candlelight vigils are dangerous. Attacking women, threatening them when they're walking to an abortion clinic, so they need people to escort them. That's okay. A candlelight vigil outside of Kavanaugh's house, or putting something in chalk telling Susan Collins to do what she said she was going to do, which she never does in the end, which is to vote for the Women's Health Protection Act. That was an act too far. So Susan Collins called the police. That's right. She called the Bangor police. She lives in Bangor, Maine, because it was a public defacement of property. These are the whining grievance monkeys we're dealing with now. They are taking away women's basic rights. They're going to turn women into baby containers who have no agency over when they work, or whether they go into poverty, when they give birth, when they get married, and these kinds of things, because they will take away basic decisions from them. But a chalk outline in front of you, not an outline, a chalk message that you should vote for what you said you vote for. That's too much for Susan Collins. I mean, and she's one of the good ones in the Republican Party, by the way. She's one of the 3 or 4 that ever votes for anything decent. Again, this is the Republican Party. You can't give them control of things in the midterms. You must vote for Democrats, please.